finding a lot of interest among prospects as well as our existing client base in improving CX. But we're also getting a lot more questions about, well, what's the business outcomes I'm going to generate from this? As I've said before, if you buy a new inventory management system within 12, 18, 24 months, you should see improved service levels, out of stock levels, O&O, a whole variety of things. It's a little harder to measure that in the context of CX because it may take many years to see the impacts of what you do now. So if you would, please talk a bit about just business outcomes and in particular, your earned growth rate and how you have seen companies use that to get a handle around this business outcome.
Yeah, I use in Winning on Purpose, my latest book, I show a number of case studies where it's the company with the highest net promoter score that generates the best total shareholder return, the most profitable growth, every metric that you would want as an investor. But net promoter is a survey metric. It's inherently soft and needs lots of interpretation. The way we transition to real hard metrics that like the CFO and others can relate to is this customer buying more, repeating and expanding their purchases? That's number one. And number two, probably even more important, are they actively referring to friends? Now, the first part of that, there's even a name for it in accounting. It's net revenue retention rate. Of all of your business this year, how much is coming from customers who were with you last year? Because that takes all the expanded purchases and nets out all the defectors and the declining purchases, and it gives you a net. And really healthy companies are over 100%. Companies I invest in are at 125% net revenue retention or better. So they have a standing growth rate of over 25% just based on their existing book of customers. Then you go referrals. That's an additional, and it's not, the more we're learning, it's not just icing on the cake, it is the cake. If you look at the lifetime purchases over 10, 20 years, most of it comes from referrals that were generated by a customer, not from that same customer buying more stuff. But it's hard to measure if you're not even measuring referrals. I know in business to business, smart people, referrals are everything. People talk to each other. It's a tight circle. And you'll even have, well, go talk to Joe. He'll tell you what it's like doing business with us and whether that piece of equipment lives up to its rated capacity. And but people don't keep track of Joe and who took care of Joe. And he's such a valuable asset that we need to get way more rigorous about who is referring, how much business are they generating for us. It's more profitable than what the sales force is generating for us. But somehow business just hasn't gotten serious about keeping track of that and rewarding the salespeople and the service organization who created Joe in the first place. But the Joes out there need to be identified. So back for more, refer your friends. Those are the outcomes. Measure them versus your key competitors, and suddenly this worldview where love is the only way to win becomes very rational.
I love that. Love is the only way to win and becomes very rational. That's a nice way to encapsulate exactly what you just said. Fred, I want to thank you so much for being a part of our success stories today. And hopefully we can get together at some point in the future.
That would be fun, Lynn.